Hello everybody, MD Polo at Range USA in Carmel, Indiana. And today with a CZ Shadow 2 in single action only. The Shadows have a amazing trigger as it is, but single action only should be fantastic. I don't think I've had a Shadow 2 channel before, so it'll be a good experience. We're about 20 yards out. Make sure you're on camera. Let's see how we do. What a trigger. She hit a little bit high, and that's me. It's definitely me. The gun is right on. If I do my part, the gun is right there. I pulled that one. Pull that one too. Good Lord. And we are empty. 17 rounds. What a soft shooter. Hope you can still hear me. Got busier. Let's turn you around and bring you in. And this is the one I pulled. It's not bad. You know, first time shooting this gun. This gun belongs to one of my subscribers, Adam. So thank you very much for lending me your gun for this video. And first shot, single action only, CZ Shadow 2. Now we'll go to the table. Hello everybody, we're back. That was a fun range experience with a CZ Shadow 2 in single action only. It was smooth. It was so well balanced. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is how the gun felt in my hands and what the shooting experience was, and whether I think it's worth it to take a look at this. And I'm going to start by saying that CZ just makes fantastic products. And the Shadow 2, and by the way, I know for a fact this is not loaded. The Shadow 2, and this being the single action only, does a fantastic job with the quality, with the trigger, the balance on this gun, especially with a loaded mag. It is just superb. The gun just sits in your hand. It doesn't go anywhere. And this does not have the normal grips. This has the lock grips, and these are the palm swells, as you can see here. The regular grips that the Shadow 2 comes with are kind of flat. They are aluminum flat side panels here. They don't have the palm swells that you see here. And Lock does a fantastic job with their grips. So this is a huge upgrade as far as I'm concerned. One dead giveaway, that you got the single action only, is that blue trigger. It doesn't have the normal curved trigger, kind of like a C-shaped trigger that the Shadows come with, but it's almost kind of like a flattish, straightish trigger here in that light baby, or I would guess it would be like a titanium blue. I was going to say baby blue, but it's kind of like a titanium blue. And that's the first dead giveaway that you've got the single action only from the Shadow 2. Okay, being single action only, you've got, well, since I'm here, let's look at the mag release. You've got a really nice mag release here. It is textured and adjustable, as you can see here. You can also remove it and flip it around to the other side. So it's ambi ready, but it's not ambi right out of the box. The one thing that is ambi out of the box is, as you can see here, you got the safety. And the safety on the right-hand side of the gun is just almost like a flat actuator here, but on the left side of the gun, you've got one that is very nice and wide. As you can see here, that you can see the difference between the left side and the right side. So very nice, and it does its job, ejecting the mags nicely. And safety off, gun is ready. And here, the star of the show is this trigger. Fits my finger very nice, very comfortable. One problem that I've had with a lot of ZZs is I have medium-sized hands. So the distance between their normal C-shaped trigger and back here, where the beaver tail is, the tang of the grip back here, the distance is too wide. So I end up not being able to reach, and on double action, it's hard. The pad of my finger ends up around there, and it's a hard reach for me. This being more of a straight trigger with my medium-sized hands, I don't have any problem whatsoever reaching that trigger right there. Boom. I did a 5-pull test, and the average was, for the 5 pulls, was 1.8 pounds. There's a reset. Boom. Now, the only reason the reset matters is because it's meant to be a target gun. It's not a defensive gun. So maybe the reset is more of an issue here. You pull. Just beautiful. And I'm not going to do the 5 pulls here with you because, of time, but I do have the gauge here, and I did do it. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is whether it's worth it to spend this kind of money or extra money on a Phoenix Redback or Drake, handmade in Switzerland. People in my other videos have said that's ridiculous to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a CZ clone when you can just buy a Shadow 2 for $1,000 or less. This particular Shadow 2 in single action only is running about $1,300, something like that. And I'm sure you can find it for less than that at your local gun shops if you can find it. I haven't seen too many of the single action onlys out in the wild, but if you do, one way you can tell is by the blue trigger. And I guess it all comes down to personal preference and what your budget is, because value depends on your personal situation, right? So if your budget allows to spend $5,000 on a gun and you feel that it brings you the value, then absolutely, because it is a different shooting experience. They feel different, and I guess this is just from my perspective. They feel different in the hand. They feel different the way they shoot. Even just sitting there and racking the slide, it feels different and feels more silky. If I could say it, more luxurious than this. Now, whether that's important to you or not, that's a completely different story, and both are okay. You could have all the resources in the world, but you think spending $5,000 on a gun is dumb. That's fine too. So that's why those are the questions that only you can answer. And I hear a lot of YouTube people saying, oh, this gun is not worth that, or that gun is not worth that. Well, how can they answer that question? They're not in your shoes. All I can tell you is what I feel and what I think of the gun. And it is a very similar analogy, and I've said it in other videos. Let's say that tomorrow morning you want to go to church. Do you go to church in a Rolls Royce, or do you go to church in a Ford, or do you go to church in a pickup truck, or do you go to church in a Mercedes? They're all going to take you to church. The difference is going to be the experience of driving there. That's the difference. How do you feel in your car when you drive? No difference than a watch. If you're a watch guy, I am, or lady, is that you can have a Rolex, you can have a Patek Philippe, you can have Ulysses Nardin, or you can have a Timex. They're all going to tell you time. So how do you feel wearing it? Where do you see the value on a beautiful handmade piece of jewelry? Or do you just want something that tells you it's 8 o'clock, with a Mickey Mouse voice. They're all okay. It's just what you like. Given the choices, and in my current situation, I'd love to have the Phoenix Redback or the Drake, because I think it's a much more refined firearm. I didn't say better. I said it's a much more refined firearm. If you see value on that, great. I do. If you don't, that's fine too. Looking down here, you can see there's a little bit of a magwell. How's that for a segue, getting out of that rabbit hole? Skeletonized hammer, beautiful fully adjustable sights, blacked out rear, fiber optic front. Just a superb firearm. I really, really enjoyed shooting this. So I'd like to know your thoughts. I didn't want this video to turn into this gun weighs X amount of pounds and it's got a barrel that is all that stuff. You can look it up online, and it's been said in 20 million videos. I wanted to tell you how I feel about it and what my thoughts were on it. So that's what you got. I'd love to know about your experience. If you have any experience with a Shadow 2 in single action only. And since I went into the rabbit hole of value, what do you think? Would you spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a Phoenix Redback or a Drake versus spending $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 on a Shadow 2, whether it be the double action, single action, or the single action you have in front of you? So looking forward very much to your comments. And also I would like to thank Adam, who's a local subscriber and viewer, that lent me his beautiful CZ Shadow 2 for this review, for the video, and for the range time. So once again, I look forward to your comments below. That is my favorite part of the video, of the channel. And although I am posting things on Instagram, I'm slowly moving away from Instagram. I'm getting really sick and tired of their censorship. And I'm starting to post more and more over on Twitter. I guess they call it X now. So if you'd like to start giving me a follow over there, I'd like to grow that platform and eventually move away from Instagram. So your help would be appreciated. So once again, videos every Wednesday morning when I can, and every Friday morning more on a regular schedule. Once again, thank you very much for stopping by. And until the next time, God bless.